What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another Dynamite review show on the Tricology News Talk. As we are almost a week away from Double or Nothing. Yeah, before we hit the Vegas week, we finally got some matches put on the Double or Nothing, and we're going to talk about that during this week's Dynamite review. We're going to talk about AEW's third show, which is Collision. We're going to be talking about the AEW Fight Forever details, and we're going to get into all of that. But before we get into all that, y'all welcome my partner in crime, Mr. Leland Benford. What's up, bro?
What is up, everybody? I'm excited to be back. Last week was my birthday weekend, and I did get a chance to go see AEW live. I can talk briefly about that in a second here. But yeah, happy to be back.
Real quick, tell us your experience in Detroit last week.
First off, man, this is my first time going to the Little Caesars Arena. So I, being born and raised Detroiter, it was really good to see that, arena is brand new, looks really nice. And also it was a lot of people there. It was a really packed event. The show was great. We got a chance to see Kenny Omega and Jon Moxley in a steel cage. You guys already know what happened in that match with Don Callis. So that was a great moment to say, hey, I was there the moment Don betrayed Kenny Omega. Was really cool. But yeah, really good show, really good presentation. I don't know what it is, though. I've always felt this way when I go to AEW shows. It's never loud enough for me, like the music or it's just never loud enough. So whoever the audio guy is, just turn it up just a little bit more, man. Just turn it up a little bit more. But rather than that, the show was great, and we had a really good time cheering for our favorite AEW wrestlers.
All right. It looked like you had a great experience. And I think every time you go to a live event, there's always a steel cage. I think you have a steel cage fever.
I think so. Both Dynamites I've been to, one in Atlanta, one in Detroit, both times was a steel cage. So I feel like I'm lucky there. So keep it happening.
Yep. And since we move on from last week, let's talk about this week. So this week start off with Wardlow coming to the ring and immediately called out Christian Cage from his comments last week. And there Christian Cage to spit in his face, and then right on cue, Christian Cage came out with Luchasaurus, and then after the face-off, Cage said the Wardlow's time as TNT champion is about to be over, as Christian was almost about to spit in Wardlow's face, and Wardlow grabbed Christian by the throat before he even spit in the face. But the numbers in Wardlow's favor was not good, as Christian hit the low blow, as Luchasaurus brought out a ladder under the ring. Luchasaurus chokeslammed Wardlow onto the ladder, and then followed up with Christian Cage hitting the kill switch on the ladder. And then later on, we get to find out what type of match it will be. If you thought it was a ladder match, your thoughts are right. Yeah, well, I don't know if you're going to win no $1 million. I ain't got no prize for you. I'm just saying.
Ladder match with Christian. I don't know if Wardlow wanted to do that, since Christian has a history of ladder matches. I mean, he was there. He's part of the birth of TLC. So he definitely has a lot more experience in ladder matches. Wardlow won a ladder match before, though, correct? I feel like he was the I think he won.
That was the face of the Revolution.
Face of the Revolution, right? So he has some history winning ladder matches, so that may come in his favor. But again, Christian being, an OG ladder match guy, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I don't think they're going to let Wardlow lose the belt that quick again. I don't think they're going back to Pittsburgh anytime soon. So no hometown win for him. But I don't think they're going to let it go. So I think this will be a good. But also at the same point in time, the TNT title ship has been bounced back and forth so many times. And Luchasaurus is a threat there. So maybe, who knows?
My only two concern is one, Warlow better not lose. That's all I'm saying. And number two, a ladder match with Christian Cage at his age. You think he's willing to take those bumps again? You think he's willing to take those bumps?
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see. Like I said, he got Luchasaurus that's there for him, so maybe Luchasaurus will help him win in some kind of way. But no matter how you look at it, it's going to be an entertaining match because you do have a veteran with Christian Cage. And not only is he a veteran, but he is also a veteran in a steel cage. So he is dangerous in that, not steel cage, I'm sorry, in a ladder match. So he is dangerous in that setting.
Yeah, we'll see. And but like I said, if Warlow loses, I'm gonna be pissed. That's all. That's nothing against nothing against Christian Cage. I still like Christian, but like, we don't need the TNT title to be passed around like it did before. No, it needs to just stay on one place for right now. That's all I'm saying. But
right.
But our first opening match was the AEW International Champion Orange Cassidy and one of the four competitors in the Fatal 4-Way AEW World Championship match, Darby Allin, team up against Lee Moriarty and Big Bill. So this was a pretty good opening match, as definitely Orange Cassidy and Darby Allin show a good, fun chemistry together. This is just another way to build Orange Cassidy up as the international champion, and also Darby Allin's momentum going into the main event Fatal 4-Way match for the AEW World Championship. But in the end, Cassidy and Darby Allin picked up the win after Allin applied the slide headlock of Moriarty and then got the pin over there.
This is actually a really good match. I will say AEW doesn't do a good job of protecting their big guys since, Big Bill is this big guy, but, he's being tossed around or being slammed or, leaving his feet. I would like, if they want him to feel like a threat, they can start making sure they protect their big guys. They do the same thing with my one guy they had in with QT Marshall, the big dude they have over there. But it seems to be, and even like Brian Cage, it seems to be where they don't really follow those traditional rules of protecting their big guy. And I've seen that last night with Big Bill. Lee Moriarty, he's a great talent. I mean, this is a guy who, there is some serious potential with Lee Moriarty, like as far as just being that workhorse, the guy you can go to, you can depend on to put on a good match, and also be safe with the guys that he's working with. I see a lot of potential, or I hope there's a lot of potential, or they see him the same way I see him, because I feel like there's a lot there he can offer. Also, great team between Orange Cassidy. I heard the commentators say that they have been teaming up more often, and in the house shows, the AEW house shows, that they've been teaming up more, and it shows here because they really did do a good job last night working as a team.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I said Cassidy and Allin definitely works as a great tag team. Like, if you ever put them in a tag team situation, they will make a good tag team champions if they want to go that route. But as far as Lee Moriarty and Big Bill, I think after that firm deletion match at Rampage, they are dead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, if the firm is over, then they probably should also have these guys be over as well. But right now is working, so let's leave it at that.
All right, moving on. Alex Perez tried to interview the Young Bucks back in the parking lot, try to give an update on Kenny Omega, says that he is hurting, but he will be okay. But when the Blackpool Combat Club surrounded him, Nick was slammed onto a hood of a truck while Matt's bad arm was targeted. John Moxley said the BCC are the only elite group around here as they walked up with the bus laying on the ground. But this ain't the only time that we'll see the elite and the BCC collide heads, and we'll get to that in a second. But Renee Parquette tried to get a medical update on Wardlow from the doctors when Art Anderson walked up furious and slapped the ice pack away from Wardlow, asking what he's prepared to do. Wardlow said he's willing to give Christian Cage the beating at his own game and challenge Cage to a TNT ladder match and Double or Nothing. So there's your confirmation there on the TNT Championship match at Double or Nothing. As we already discussed our feelings towards the how we feel towards the ladder match. But yeah, so if you want to hear more on that, just go back in the beginning of the video of the show. And then Renee, after she interviewed Wardlow, she was backstage with Orange Cassidy, asking him about Kyle Fletcher attacking him last week. Cassidy said, whoever wants a shot at the international title at Double or Nothing, go find Tony Khan. He'll fight everyone. So it was announced that Orange Cassidy will be defending the international championship in a 21-man blackjack casino battle royale. Now, let me just say this. I don't think Orange Cassidy might lose the championship at Double or Nothing, but if he does, Kyle Fletcher or somebody like Gray, maybe Miro, because we saw Miro appear last week. So it's got to be somebody that's working off to take the belt off of Orange Cassidy. Now, if Orange Cassidy does retain in the Battle Royal Double or Nothing, and then he lose the title in a one-on-one match, then it's got to mean something. It could be Kyle Fletcher, it could be Miro, it's got to mean something before taking the belt off of Orange Cassidy, because Orange Cassidy has been doing wonders for that international championship. He's been that fighting champion that everyone wants. But if you see in the interviews, he says he's tired. So that kind of tells you that, he's looking to lose the belt soon, even though TK don't want him to lose the belt anytime soon, because that's one of TK's favorites. But it comes a time when your body can't do it anymore, and then you got to pass it on to someone else. But that's my thoughts and opinion. But what are your thoughts on Orange Cassidy's reign as international champion and the 20-man blackjack casino battle royale at Double or Nothing?
So I really think because Orange Cassidy comes off as this guy who's very like, I don't care, it's whatever, that's his gimmick, that we kind of feel for him more when you're starting to see him go through these really tough battles, which he has been having some really tough battles. And his reign as the international champion has been a entertaining one. And not as far as just him and what he does, but the matchups and the competitiveness that he has been showing to keep that belt. So I do feel a little attached to his reign as international champion. He's been starting most of the Dynamites lately. A lot of the first matches have been his Dynamite. His international championship match. But I don't think there's a main competitor yet or a main rival, because he's been, beating guys, and those guys go to the back of the line, but there hasn't been anyone that really comes off as a big rival. So I think it's smart for them to do the Blackjack Battle Royal, because now we also on the show get this big pile, and they usually do like battle royals for Double or Nothing. So yeah, I think it's, I don't know, like he's getting tired. He said, "Give me a cheer," So then maybe the battles are starting to come up with them, and I can't be mad at him if he loses, because he's been just freaking killing it in all these battles.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll see. Will Orange Cassidy retain his title at Double or Nothing? We'll see. But moving on. Sammy Guevara versus Exodus Prime. I was like, who? Does Optimus Prime got a brother I don't know? Like, are we promoting Transformers Rise of the Beast here? The last time I checked, that's a Paramount movie. AEW's Warner Brothers Discovery properly. Like, what is going on? Are we fighting Decepticons? Autobots? What are we doing?
Right.
Do I really need to talk about more? Like, this thing only lasted like 2 minutes. That's it.
I mean, it may have been even less than that, to be honest, Trico. I mean, this probably was the fastest match in Dynamite history. And it was so fast where did we need to have a match? Couldn't he just come out and cut a promo? I mean, did we need to see this guy get beat so quickly? We'll never remember him, you know. So I don't know if that was necessary, but it did give Sammy Guevara another win on his belt, you know, on his record. So I mean, for that reason, I guess, you know, it was a good thing. But I don't think we needed to have an actual match. But it is what it is. It was fun.
I was like, where did they get this guy from? You need to change your name, bro.
Right. Exodus Prime.
Oh my goodness.
Probably the worst wrestling name.
Sammy Guevara wins after the GTH for the quick win. Then Guevara took the mic and talked about the old days in Texas, saying everything he went through made him what he is today. Guevara talked about the few runs that taking him to a right place is Double or Nothing. Guevara listened to his heart and tells him that he's going to be the new AEW World Champion. I was like, did Sammy Guevara just turn babyface again? I'm like, is he leaving the JHS? I'm like, or this is just like a one-time thing of him being a babyface, and is he going to go back to a heel after Double or Nothing? I don't know, but we'll see about that. And then afterwards, they showed a video package of the history of the Four Pillars going back to the very first Double or Nothing at 2019, and how each four competitors had their own path going into Double or Nothing of this year. So that was a good video package. We saw each of them had their own video package last week, so they kind of put it all together there. So I like that what they did there.
Yeah, the Pillars are headlining the show. You know, then that's good. You know, this is young talent. You know, these are the young guys who's going to be the leaders of wrestling years from now. But it's good to give them their highlight now and their moment now when they're, you know, at their youngest. Because, you know, as time goes on, their body is going to catch up with them. So I'm excited for these four young guys who's going to main event this pay-per-view.
Yeah, and this next segment definitely triggers Donez. And if you want to go on his social media and rant about him, don't tell him I didn't send you. So you'll see what I'm talking about. You'll see what I'm talking about. So Tony Schiavone was in the ring. He introduced Jay Lethal, Jeff Jarrett, Satnam Singh, and Sonjay Dunn to the ring. As they was making their entrance, Dunn showed off two guitars with FTR's name on them. That's how it was that Cash Wheeler ran out from the back, and Singh was sent off the stage through a table and attacked Jarrett, Dunn, and Lethal. Wheeler got in some chair shots on Jarrett, while Howard stripped Lethal out of his suit. As FTR was about to hit the shatter machine on Jarrett, Karen Jarrett, I was like, what is going on here? She came from behind and hit a low blow on Wheeler. As Jeff hit a stroke on Hardwood, Sonjay recovered, came to the ring, and planted FTR with a double choke slam. Lethal and Jeff hit Santoni's guitar shots on FTR, who crumbled, while Dunn played a broken guitar as Lethal and Jarrett held up the tag team titles in the air. So the reason I say it triggered dynamics because if you want to ask him why he hates Jeff Jarrett and Karen Jarrett, you'll see why. But my thoughts when I saw Karen appear, I'm like, am I watching TNA wrestling from 2005? Am I watching that? What is going on here? But aside from that, I kind of like this segment here because it definitely builds a story with that because the whole story here is with Mark Briscoe because he has history with not only Jay Lethal but also FTR, and with Mark Briscoe being the special guest referee in the tag team title match at Double or Nothing. I think it's going to happen. This is just my prediction. I don't know what's going to happen, but my prediction is that Mark Briscoe probably going to see the light and see what Jay Lethal is doing. He's been manipulating him, and then like he's going to be he's going to play fair in most of the match. But when it comes to the seeing the light, then that's when Mark Briscoe going to put his foot down. And that's going to give FTR the win. But that's my opinion. I don't know what's going to happen at Double or Nothing next Sunday. But your thoughts on Karen Jarrett making her AEW appearance, and what are your thoughts on this tag team championship rivalry?
Yeah, the TNA crew back at it again. I gotta admit with I gotta side with Dynamite here. I already had a problem with Jeff Jarrett. If you remember back in some of the other episodes, I said I don't want to see him wrestle anybody else but Steen. And then he started to wrestle some of the younger guys. Then I start to see the benefits of a veteran being with some of these young guys and being able to learn from him. So then I start to grow. But now here we are, and he got his wife in there now. So now his wife gets a paycheck. And I'm not mad at him. Make your money. That's the whole point of, being in that business is making money. But I hope Tony, and I don't know if Tony Khan is doing this just to attract TNA original fans, just to attract that niche audience of people who love TNA, the TNA hardcore fans who stuck with that company even today, under Impact. So I don't know if he's doing it just for them or Tony Khan was a fan himself of TNA, if this is nostalgia for him. But yeah, it does stink of TNA, and that's the problem. I think Karen Jarrett, I liked her work when it was the Ric Flair final match and everything she was doing there. I don't think we needed her here per se, but she got a good pop. She gave the low blow, and it worked for the segment, but it does just, I don't know, it gives that carny kind of feel to this segment. So I don't know. Jeff Jarrett is he's great, but we've known him to be great for so long. Do we need to see him anymore? And I will say this: his theme song has really grown on me over the last couple of months. All right, I'm gonna say it. Jeff Jarrett is the greatest of all time, the greatest, the greatest of today and the greatest of tomorrow. And you can't just he's gonna be there and he's gonna do his thing. And also, I will say this: if you ever go to a live wrestling show, it's so much different than we watch it on TV, because these guys really are more focused on making sure the audience there is entertained than the people at home necessarily. I think they care about the people at home, but wrestlers like Jeff Jarrett, who come from a different background, who has been in his family for so long, he knows how to work a live crowd. He knows how to work the people who are in the arena. And I think that's something he's masterful at. When you don't have a microphone in your hand and you can walk down to that ring and you can still get people to boo the hell out of you, without saying one word on a mic. That's a real talent, and that's something that can't be taught overnight. I think that's something that he is really good at, and it's just from his history of wrestling. So, as much as I gripe and complain about Jeff Jarrett, I also gotta admit he's a veteran. He got my respect, and he's hella entertaining every time he's out there. And if this is another way to help him be more entertaining, then I guess it is what it is. But it just feels like TNA too much a little bit with his segments.
Yeah, but we'll see what's gonna happen next Sunday in the tag team the championship match at Double or Nothing. But moving on, Renee Paquette was backstage with Darby Allin, refers to the headlock submission in his match earlier, and then Allin said it was a message to MJF. And then when Sammy Guevara walked in and says he respects Allin, Guevara says he knows Allin doesn't trust him, but he says he won't lay down for MJF. All that matters is that Double or Nothing is that MJF does not walk out as the AEW champion. Allin said, may the best man win, and they fist bump each other.
This was a cool moment to see them guys kind of resolve their issues. And also it makes it seem that, Sammy's not going to lay down for Max. So now we got a real competition on our hands. We have a real, fight. So that does make it feel more like it gave me maybe more excited for the match. Now that I know that every man is in there really for themselves.
Yeah. And then moving on, we got a tag team match with Tony Storm and Ruby Soho of the Outcast versus Dr. Britt Baker and Hikaru Shida. Now, the women's world champion Jamie Hayter was not in the arena tonight, so I guess she probably has an injury going on. But afterwards, let's see, where go to the arena? Yeah, there we go. Tony Storm sprayed Britt Baker with one of the spray cans in her eyes, and then hit the Storm Zero to steal the win. To steal the win there. Now, originally this was supposed to be a trios match, but I think Jamie, like I said, Jamie was not in the arena tonight. I think she has some injuries to try to work up because she'll definitely be there at Double or Nothing, and we'll get to that announcement in a second, which I think is dumb, but it is what it is. But the Outcasts pick up a tag team win here. So yeah.
Yeah, also I'm a huge fan of the Outcast. Keep that group together. I love to see that they're I love to see their chemistry growing every time they go out there. They look like they're more and more friends, and they're just having a good time doing it. But Soraya is great. Like the Outcast top, I think they're helping elevate the women's division in AEW for sure.
Yeah, and we'll get to more on that in a second. But Renee Paquette was backstage once again with Orange Cassidy, who informs Cassidy since they last talked earlier on in the night. 20 men went out to Tony Khan's office and answered the challenge. Cassidy said that's a lot, so he makes it a 21 Black Jab Battle Royal for the international title at Double or Nothing. Even Cassidy offered Renee Paquette a spot in the match, where she politely turned down. But I think she would have took it, but I don't think she would have. But that's your confirmation there. And you guys want to listen to what we said earlier about our thoughts about the match? You can go back to in the few beginnings of the video of the podcast. But yeah. And before we move forward to the Tony Khan announcement, I want to lay down some details about the AEW Fight Forever. I don't know if you saw on social media, but they did leak out a couple pics of the achievements that was from the Xbox One consoles. And I was looking at and I was not only I saw the leaks of the achievements, but they did say, oh, a potential release is going to happen on June. So if they do that, I would say release the game in June, but around Forbidden Door weekend, if they do that.
Yeah, I can see that for sure. I would say, I did see that some people have already pre-downloaded their copy of AEW Fight Forever. The achievements have been leaked. I don't see them. I mean, they have been advertising this thing now for 5 months on Dynamite. You know, that little bottom, lower third that says pre-order, 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 but it never had a release date. I would imagine whatever the release date is, it would have to be like a month out, just to give people more time to go get ready for it. But that's exciting. It's exciting. We see that it's got rated as teen. Kenny Omega was saying that was a big weight. And I wonder if it was the CM Punk stuff that kind of, hung this stuff up. Do we take him out of the game? Do we put him into the game? Maybe there was a decision made to take them out, and then they have to put them back in, and that made delays. So, I don't know what happened there, but I'm excited to hear any news about this game because I've been ready to play it forever.
Yeah, I mean, they've been doing a lot of polishing. I said this game is ready. Get ready to put this out because you have a lot of wrestling fans, and then a lot of people who be on Twitch and video game. They're ready to play this game. Come on, go ahead and release it. And then why I say release it, because they need to release it on time. And that's where we get to the Tony Khan announcement. And then backstage. And he says that today will be one of the greatest days in AEW history. It's announced that at the TNT upfronts that the 2-hour AEW Collision will premiere on Saturday, June 17th. So at Warner Brothers Discovery, they did announce a collision as part of the where they do when they do those conference where they announce shows that's going to be coming up in the fall schedule. So AEW Collision was a part of that announcement. Now, no AEW wrestler was present during the conference because of the writer's strike. So no wrestler was present at the time. But yeah. He said Collision will be a hot ticket with the premiere location set to be announced next week, which I do believe it will be at the United Center, and that's where we're going to get CM Punk back. But however, June 24th will be in Toronto, June 29th will be in Hamilton, July 8th will be in Regina, June 15th in Calgary, and then finally July 22nd. In New Hampshire, New Jersey. So those are announcements on the locations on some of the premiere dates for Collision. But like I said, that premiere date on the June 17th, I do believe it will be at the United Center, and that's where we're going to get the CM Punk back. So with all this Collision news,
has it been officially announced for the United Center?
That's what I'm thinking is going to happen. They haven't announced the whether the premiere location is going to be at. Now, that's just my thoughts.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. Hold on, what's that? I'm worried, guys. I'm not sure if the market really is in need of 2 more hours of AEW. What do you think?
Man, let me just say this. And I said this to you before too, and I said they should have saved this for Tony Khan's moment. Like they completely ruined it when they first put it out on social media. I'm like,
yeah,
why y'all put it on the social media now? Why can't y'all give TK his moment and let him announce it himself? Like that was dumb. That was dumb. And secondly, I don't mind it being on Saturdays, but if I was Warner Brothers Discovery and AEW, I would move Collision over to Friday nights and put Rampage on Saturday and make Rampage look like it was WWE Sunday Night Heat from back in the day, or WWE Velocity that they had on Saturdays, make it like that, and have Collision be put on Fridays as the SmackDown version of AEW. That's how I would do it. But
Yeah,
with Collision be on Saturday, it might interfere with because WWE's now doing their pay-per-views on Saturdays. So and then you have some Impact pay-per-views be on Saturday too, wherever it goes. And then you also have UFC pay-per-views on Saturdays as well. So that's what makes it kind of confusing there.
I think Collision. Listen, this is what I think about Collision. I think it will be the most watched wrestling program on DVRs on Sunday mornings. That's what I think about Collision. The moment I saw that it was Saturday at 8, the first thing my brain said, I'll watch that Sunday morning. Because, I mean, honestly, I mean, they must be going for a teenage audience because for the most part, I'm not home Saturdays at 8. So I don't know what their thinking is here. I almost would have just liked it to go on Thursdays. Give me Dynamite, then give me Collision. And if there's a big show a big story that happened on Wednesday, at least we don't have to wait long to see what happens on Thursday. Or don't be a punk and go 2 hours before. I mean, the time period is for the average wrestling fan who watch both products. I mean, it's not much time in the primetime space for another show. So Saturday at 8, that's tough. I would almost like it if they just made it a Saturday morning wrestling show aimed to kids or aimed to 16 and under, and made it more campy and more fun to get that young crowd. But a serious wrestling show on Saturdays at 8, guys, I am worried about Collision. I don't know what their plan is. I don't work for the company. But Saturday at 8 is a tough spot. Now, some people, I don't know what their goal as well. Their goal may be just to increase their viewership on Saturdays at 8 by 200,000 people. Now, the wrestling community is going to see 200,000 and think the show is a failure. But if all they're aiming for is an additional 200,000 eyes or 300,000 eyes on a Saturday at 8, then they hit their goal. But we don't know what their goals are for viewership with Collision. But Saturday at 8 is a tough spot. I don't know.
Well, all I can say is that if this indeed is a AEW's version of a brand split, if they do it, I would say keep the TNT Championship and on Collision. That's where you can have more stories there with the TNT title. To keep the TBS title on Dynamite, that you can have more story there. Then the international title can stay on Dynamite. I don't know. You can decide whatever you want to do with tag team titles and the trios titles. And I don't know. There's been a lot of pitch on making another world title for Collision. I don't think they don't need that. One world title is good enough. That can float between both Dynamite and Collision and Rampage as well. You can still do that, but that could be a way to try to getting more talent on separate shows. Like you keep the people that you normally see on Dynamite. You can keep them on Dynamite. Keep the people that you normally see on Rampage. Keep them there, and then you can keep the people that you want on Collision on Collision. So it's just a matter of ways how they can do a Collision and make it a worth watching show. But we'll see how they do, and then hopefully we get an announcement on next week on where the first premiere of the first Collision show is going to be. Well, like I said, it's going to be at the United Center because they're hyping up the CM Punk return. But we'll see how it goes from there.
Yep. I mean, hey, I'm not gonna complain. I love AEW. They want to put out more content. Great. But now they're at 5 hours a week. They're going from 3 to 5. I don't know if the company can handle it. I'm thinking
Well,
Collision. Go ahead.
Well, 7 hours if you include Ring of Honor.
Yeah, but I know Ring of Honor got like their own, producers, and but you know what? They might be sharing jobs. Um, yeah, I guess you're right. That's 7 hours worth of in-ring content that Tony Khan is responsible for. So I don't know if he's stretching himself too thick or thin, or he has it in a good system now where he can go out there and put everything. I will say this about Collision, and then we can move on from this. Collision does give me that WCW Nitro vibes with the color, nostalgia. So maybe Collision will be more old school wrestling type of thing based off the images and the look of it. They got FTR on the poster and the House of Black, so maybe it is a brand split. We don't know. We don't know just yet, but we will find out. But it does give them more opportunities to tell different stories, and that's always cool.
Yeah. And then we go into what I think should have made it the show, but that's my opinion. Roger Strong versus Chris Jericho in a Falls Count Anywhere match. I definitely had fun with this match. They fought all over the building and had its fun moments. Kind of remind me of the old WWF days when they had the Hardcore Championship. They would just go around the ring and stuff. They really played it up good, and they really played up the indie as well. And once they got outside of the arena, that's where we saw Adam Cole, the baby, and then I think we all know it was just a setup, and Adam Cole appeared behind Chris Jericho as they was farting all over the top of the like a garden there, like a dirt pile over there, and then Cole hit the boom on Jericho with Strong following up with the jumping knee for the victory. And my goodness, I think Adam Cole was probably disguised as a gardener to try to set him up. So yeah, it was great, and I love the ending. We need to do more Falls Count Anywhere match like that, and yeah. So now we are just waiting on the announcement of Adam Cole versus Chris Jericho at Double or Nothing.
Okay, first off, this is a hard-hitting match. I'm not sure if Jericho was ready for Roderick Strong because Roderick was laying them in. You want to talk about snug? You can see Jericho's chest swelling up as the match went more and more. And also, how fun was it? Like, this is just a really fun match. Out in the crowd, out in the arena, outside the arena. I think this is the first time they did something like this. So this is a really fun, good to see match, hard hitting, a new matchup between the two. Roderick Strong gets his victory over Jericho, which is normal for guys coming into the company to get a victory over Jericho. But yeah, Adam Cole gets a little bit of revenge. I do feel like they kind of dropped the whole angle of they did kind of drop the angle of Adam Cole getting revenge for Britt Baker. But it really has this is a really good angle. Really good angle.
I don't know. They did kind of play it off because Adam Cole was trying to get his revenge for a while, but then Chris Jericho put the a clause on him that wherever arena he's at, he cannot touch him. So that was just a made up plan. I finally got you. Now you're gonna have to some way or another. You're gonna have to face me. So I think they did kind of put it out there. I think they kind of.
Okay, I got you. I got you. I got you. Yeah. I mean, yeah. But I feel like, like even if Britt was there, to kind of push it in a little bit more and everything like that, it kind of would have, but we'll see what kind of how this thing's finish up. But yeah, this rivalry was really something that's growing, and that match was just really good.
Yeah, I love it, and then I can't wait to see what happens next. And then moving on, we had Jungle Boy Jack Perry versus Roosh, and man, this was another
Woo.
super hard hitting match. And then Roosh had beat the crap out of Perry for majority of the match. I mean, out
Bro,
of Sammy
bro.
Guevara and Darby Allin tonight, Jungle Boy had the most hard hitting match than the other two. Like he was even bleeding in the match. I'm
Woo.
like,
Woo. Look, the whole time that match was going on, I said, Roosh, he's in the main event. Calm down. You don't want to injure. You don't want to be the guy that injure one of the main event guys for our up and coming big pay-per-view. There was a story about how Booker T made a mistake and injured, I believe it was Triple H or Stone Cold, a week or so before a major event. And nobody was mad at Booker T per se, but Booker T said he noticed that he wasn't getting booked as much. It took a long time for them to trust him in that kind of position again. But you don't want to be the guy to injure one of the main eventers of the pay-per-view coming up. And that's what I had to keep screaming at my TV. Calm down, Roosh. He's in the main event. So, yeah, crazy match. But don't get me wrong, Roosh looks incredible. He really is aggressive. He really is that fighting spirit. I mean, he even cup checked them in the middle of the match. I mean, who does that? Yeah, crazy match, but I had to keep screaming at my TV a couple of times. Calm down. Okay? Does the guy owe you money? Why are you mad? Why are you so upset? But give it to Perry. He had the hardest match of the night, that's for sure.
my goodness. And but Jungle Boy picked up the win with a schoolboy flash pin. And then after the match, press advanced. Jose and Roosh all attacked Perry until Darby Allin hit the ring, but found himself choked out by a cable cord by Jose that he brought out earlier. And then Sammy Guevara made the save, taking out Roosh on the ramp as Allin took out Joe with a Scorpio death drop. And the event was wiped out by Guevara and Allin as all three challengers for the AEW title was left in the ring staring at each other. And then they went to the back. As MJ was watching, he was pissed off, and then Renee Paquette approaches MJ in the back and tried to address him, seeing how he feel after what just happened, and how he feels heading into the AEW World Title match at Double or Nothing. And then MJF slapped the microphone off her hands and walked away. I was like, "Oh boy, do you know what that is?" I'm like, now I know who's his next rivalry is at the Double or Nothing. I'm like, you don't do that. You don't do that.
I said the same thing. I was like, yo, if it's any commentator you don't want to disrespect, it's her. I said, but I know Renee is a big girl, and I know she's been in the game for a minute, but still, you don't want to do that to Moxley's wife. So, yeah.
I mean, my goodness. But that's another thing. But we saw footage of Jamie Hayter was injured last month by Tony Storm, who was standing by Renee Paquette backstage. And then Storm says she's setting records at AEW with 4 wins in 5 days. Says he on a entirely different animal here at AEW, and challenges Jamie Hayter for the women's world title at Double or Nothing. So basically, we're getting a rematch from Full Gear. That's what we're doing here. But Moving on. This was the main event match where we saw Switchblade Jay White versus Ricky Starks. So I'm surprised they put this on Dynamite instead of the pay-per-view. But I want to see how this is gonna last. Like, are they gonna do something with them or Double or Nothing, or are they saving them for something big at Forbidden Door? But regardless, this was a good match as it lasted, but I didn't like the finish. So let me tell you what happened. So they were going back and forth until Juice Robinson jumped in with a chair, but Starks got in control, sent Robinson to the floor, and popped White in the midsection and in the back and got himself disqualified. But you can't blame Ricky Starks here because he was by himself because he didn't had the Perfect 10 with him. So I understand why he did that, but it's just them just continue on with the storyline. So it is what it is.
Right. I mean, AEW don't do disqualification matches or disqualification wins often. So when they pop up, it is a little surprising. At first, I thought it was a bit of a botch. At first, I thought Ricky was supposed to hit him with the chair, but not get caught by the ref. But then it happened. But then, like, the ref saw the first hit, and then Ricky saw the ref look at him, and then Ricky went for the second hit. And I guess take the L before you take the beat down, because it seemed like that's what their plan was. Also, Switchblade is crazy talented, crazy fast. Jay White. I'm excited to see. He's a sleeping giant. I feel like, when Jay White and Adam Cole become like the top guys, we're going to see some really incredible matches with those. But I see that Jay White will be at the pinnacle at some point. But I'm glad they started him slow and kind of building his way up with the Bullet Club Gold. Will that grow? So there's a lot of potential in that circle. Also, I like Juice Robinson. Hard Juice Robinson. But yeah, this is a really great match. Fast guys, fast pace, good wrestling, good storytelling, and it ended with a DQ.
Yeah, exactly. So for Rampage this week, the BCC takes on the Best Friends and Bandito. We'll hear from the Hardys. The Acclaim and Daddy Ass will take on the Varsity Athletes and Ari Davari. Jay Cargill does the open challenge for the TBS title. And then Bishop Khan battles Dustin Rhodes. And then next week's Dynamite, we got the Lucha Bros defending the ROH tag team titles against Claudio Casanova and Wheeler Yuta, with Casanova pick up a win over Ray Fiennes, what was a double jeopardy match that led to Casanova win a tag team title match. So that's for next week's Dynamite. Hopefully they'll put out some more announcements for next week's Dynamite on Rampage. But the main event segment was Don Callis went out to the ring and explained his actions from last week as he walked down to the ring with security lined up down the stage. They showed the footage of Callis turning on Kenny Omega last week as the crowd was heavily booing Don Callis out of the building. And Shavardi said, asked why? As Callis said, instead of asking why he did it, but instead of asking himself what he did to Omega, he wants to talk about what Omega did for him. Callis was the victim of this scenario, as he ran down everything that he has done for Omega. Without Don Callis, there is no Kenny Omega, as that line brought out Omega from the back, laying out all the security guards, kind of like what Cody Rhodes did on one Monday Night Raw, like acting like he was Captain America, aka Steve Rogers. If you have not seen that, but yeah, Kenny Omega was.
Yeah, I mean,
beat up all the security guards. Until the Blackpool Combat Club.
You're starting. There we go.
attacked him from behind. Yeah.
There we go. You're starting to break up a little bit, Trico. Now you're back.
Yeah. They attacked him from behind. Yeah. They attacked him from behind and also hit the paradigm shift. And afterwards, and let me go to the notes here. And then the BCC jumped in the ring and said that they are the elite, and this is the elite's final warrior to stay down. As Omega tried to struggle to his feet, as the Young Bucks lived out with weapons in their hands, the number was still at odd. But until Heyman Adam Page walked out with a massive ovation, returns. He even got an eye patch. And then now the sides are even. As Omega handed him a barbed wire broom, and the brawl was on. As the elite turns to beating up Wheeler Yuta, as the Butts hit the B trigger, and then Page with the butt shot lariat, and then Page stood next to the Butts and the Omega. So we got the old elite that back together, and they said they are the heart and soul of AEW, and they are the elite. And they said at Double or Nothing, it will be the Blackpool Combat Club versus the elite in an Anarchy in the Arena match.
You called it.
I said it. I told you.
You called it.
I told you.
Yeah, you called it. As soon as they said it, I was like, dang, Trico got that one right on the nail, right on the head.
Yeah. So it's just a matter of how they're gonna end it at Double or Nothing. You know, like I said, I think it's gonna be the Blackpool Combat Club taking the win, and then when they finally do the Blood and Guts match, that's where the elite is gonna pick up the victory. But that's just my opinion. We don't know what's gonna happen. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like I said, you called it. Adam Page came out. Great moment for Adam Page. Was it the screwdriver to the eye? That's why he has an eye patch on.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, but great moment. I did like the moment from Kenny Omega where he charged Yuta with the garbage can lid, like a Captain America type move. Poor Willa Yuta yesterday taking the blunt of the group. But I guess if you're the young guy of the group and you're the run of the group, that might be your job every once in a while. But yeah, we got the Anarchy in the stadium or Anarchy in the arena match, like you called it. You know, I didn't think that was gonna deal at first because I know, like, I remember the other ones are kind of goofy or they had like a comedy element to it at times. But I don't think the Blackpool Combat Club will leave room for jokes and laughs. Something tells me.
Oh no! I feel like this one's gonna be more better than the one last year.
I do feel like this one might be the most violent Anarchy in the arena match. But yeah, these are always fun. These are always fun, you know, just spectacles to watch. And now you got the elite Blackpool Combat Club. I mean, hey, that's some good stuff right there. And it was really good to see Adam Page say the elite again, like he's one of the people, one of the elite. And I guess they are all together, the original guys back together. So it's cool to see all of them, you know, back at it, back as a unit to go against this new threat of the Blackpool. And the thing is, the Blackpool Combat Club, their mission is just so simple. They're just looking to be the best and looking to fight the best, and looking to put people on notice. So, I mean, they are a threat inside the AEW company, as far as just keeping people safe. They beating up everybody. I wish we would have got a chance to hear a little bit more from Don, because he kind of disappeared the moment Kenny Omega music hit. I don't think we needed all the security guards and all that, but I get it. It's all for show. But yeah, this is going to be a fun. The pay-per-view. I say in this Dynamite, they announced 3 big matches for Double or Nothing. You got the ladder match, Blackjack Battle Royal, and now the Anarchy. And then also you got Tony Storm looking to challenge Jamie Hayter, but we kind of already saw that kind of coming. let's just see if Jamie is healthy enough to meet that. But 3 big matches announced for Double or Nothing. So that is wild and crazy. Now
Yeah.
I will say, this just came across my mind. Now that we're at the end of the show, I was hoping to see something more from Miro since he made an appearance last week, and also Thunder Rosa. But that may also be leading to Collision. They may be Collision, people, and not Dynamite people. So it seemed like, that just came across my mind because I was thinking we got to the end of the show, we didn't hear anything from Miro, and he wasn't there, but that could be something with Collision. But yeah, Anarchy in the Arena, I'm happy. Let's see it. Let's go.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And like I said before, Miro needs to be in that 21 man blackjack battle royal.
Oh,
As
wow.
I'm saying it. Yeah. I don't know what they're gonna do with the Thunder Rosa, but we'll see afterwards. After the Double or Nothing, and like I said, this Anarchy Arena is definitely going to be better than the one they did last year. I firmly believe that it will be definitely better than that. But
definitely more violent. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, and then hopefully we get some more announcements for Double or Nothing on the Go Home show next week, as they will be in Vegas for not only for Dynamite, Rampage, and Double or Nothing pay-per-view itself. So all next week is going to be in Vegas. So
Cool. Well, hey, this is always the most exciting time to be an AEW fan, is when they take these long campaigns and it starts to come to the pay-per-view. It's always exciting. It's always fun. It's always filled with excitement. So yeah, great show last night. Better than the show I went to, even though I did like my show. I was a little jealous that one had so much stuff, but it was still a great show in Detroit. But that one was much better. Austin, Texas got a better show.
I think last week's show was better. Not that to say that this one was any good. It was still good, but I think last week was more of a pay-per-view quality Dynamite. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, that makes me feel better. This one I think it was the Jericho. Matter of fact, I think it was the Jericho match, and the fact that all the pillars were there and actually got a chance to be seen. I was really looking forward to seeing the pillars in Detroit, but we only got the video packages, so that kind of dampened it for me. But it was still a great show. I still loved what they did. But I was looking to root for Jungle Boy and Darby. Also, last night Darby hit the Scorpion Death Drop, which I thought was pretty cool. I know he's with Sting and everything, but it's good to see him starting to, use some of Sting moves. I'm pretty sure he's passed them down. But it was cool to see that. That's a great finish for Darb.
Yeah, because like Sting said, he's at the end of his rope, and he's passing the torch to Darby Allin. That's your new Sting there in the modern era.
Isn't that wild? Isn't that just a wild thing to say? Also, before we end this episode, thoughts and prayers to superstar Billy Graham's family. The wrestling world lost a legend yesterday. They announced it during AEW. But if you guys don't know who superstar Billy Graham is, he's kind of the one who started what is known as the modern, wrestling promo. He's the guy that Hulk Hogan studied. He's the guy that really made promos a spectacle. He's the guy that Muhammad Ali studied when he was doing his sting like a butterfly, felt like a bee. Sting like a bee, felt like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Superstar Billy Graham have given a lot to the wrestling world, and I don't think it would be what it is today if it wasn't for his work in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah, absolutely. The news broke. Superstar Billy Graham's passing from Ric Flair, so he was on life support. So it was at the moment that when they had to pull the plug, but he definitely lived a great moment. So he was one of the great WWE champions. He was a 3-time world champion and also a bodybuilder and a close friend to Arnold Schwarzenegger. So yeah, it was a great moment. He did a great career, but yeah, we had to say goodbye. But his memory will definitely live on.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So overall, really good show last night. Really good show. The show before the go home. Yeah, everything just coming together, and we're about to have another great pay-per-view to watch.
Yeah.
So what's your final thoughts? What's your final thoughts of last night's episode?
Yeah. Yeah, pretty good show. Not better as the last week shows, but it was still good. So I want to see what they're gonna do next week. But for the go home show, Double or Nothing. But yeah, but that's my thoughts and opinion. And before we wrap up, anything else you want to plug in?
Hey man, our Empathy teaser trailer is blowing up right now. So if you guys haven't seen it, go to our YouTube page at Cupcake Rapture Studios and look for our Empathy teaser trailer because it is blowing up. So with that being said, we are looking to the end of July, early August for our premiere. We are we're closer than we ever been before. We have a color graded version. Our audio is being worked on. Our composer is working on it. Our producers are super excited. They watched the most recent version, and the excitement is starting to build for Empathy again. So guys, go check out our teaser trailer if you haven't already seen it. It is blowing up right now. And get ready to get the official trailer coming probably in the next few weeks or so.
Yeah, absolutely. We cannot wait to show this feature to you guys. But we still got a lot of marketing and promotion there's, things to do. But once the final product is done, oh my goodness, you guys gonna be so surprised. So like I said, we always keep you guys updated every time we do a Dynamite review show. That we always keep the Empathy social media up, so that way you guys can stay updated on everything that we do. So yeah, just keep to stay within the social media page, and we'll keep you guys updated with the premiere day and everything else. So again, thank y'all for keeping us loops, and we'll keep you guys updated as well. But other than that, he is Leland, and I'm Trico, and we're signing off, and we'll see y'all soon.
Peace.